Hello, I'm Andy, and I'm going to read a program called Your Love Story, January 2020. And this is for you coming from Leo. From Leo. First, let me give you my email address in case you would like to have a 90-minute session with me, which will cost you USD $50. And I will show you plenty of magic there, how to reach that supernatural energy so that you can become the successful people and how to become happy with all your lucky colors and lucky gemstones. But first, I'm going to pull a first card for you from these Kabbalistic tarot cards. And I'm going to talk to you about your first 15 days of January. And we're going to talk about a new possibility of a new romance. And what would happen if you find a new romance in the first 15 days of January? Well, what's going to happen is, firstly, the planets of unexpectedness are there and they are not in your favor. So the person you meet most unexpectedly would be the person you have to be very careful about in the first 15 days. The person may be very egoistic as well and very quick-tempered. And so you have don't give your heart away too quickly when you meet this person in the first 15 days of January. Take your time, study the character of this person. I make it as a problem. Now, what about an ongoing romance? If you should have already have an ongoing romance in the first few days, what might happen for you? And let's see what the card is going to say. Well, this is a card of loftiness, meaning arrogance and ego. And it's also a card of aggression. And it's a card of movement. So I don't make this as a good card for you. So in the first 15 days, if you already have a romance, there's going to be many disagreements and different opinions. There's going to be a lot of restlessness as well. And there's going to be anger as well. Well, it's you listening to me and tell yourself it's only for the first 15 days of January, not 15 months, only 15 days. So control yourself. Don't throw more petrol over the fire. Control yourself and you'll be able to lessen the trouble. In any case, this is a card of trouble. Now, what about your marriage area? Let me pull this card for you about your marriage area. These are Kabbalistic cards. And so, well, three things can happen: argument, bringing up past problems, and in areas of love, this no harmony. So, in the area of marriage, you have to tell yourself these three problems are there. So you listening to me, don't bring up anything that might be a problem that might bring the upset in the first 15 days. Try to hold on to it. You can discuss it at a later date during a different period. So tell yourself in the first 15 days that marriage can have problems and aggression is also there. Past issues are also there. And the unexpected problems will even grow. So you have to be very careful what you say and do in the first 15 days in your marriage area. Now I'm going to talk to you about your romance. Again, a new romance for the last 16 days of January. I like to do it every 15 days in the moon cycles. And so, last 16 days. Regarding a new romance, should you find one? You coming from Leo. Uh-oh, I don't like this card at all. This is a card of unexpected problems creating a lot of disharmony in a very pretty big way. So if you find a new romance in the last 16 days, you are finding problem basically. You don't want to very quickly with open arms welcome this person into your life. No. Take your time and you'll find that trouble comes with this person. So be aware that the person you meet in the last 16 days for a new romance is a problem. Now, what about your ongoing romance? Let's see what this card says. You're coming from Leo. Well, your ongoing romance has depression, basically. And why? Well, it probably has not been going well. And this last 16 days can make it even worse. And you'll feel very lonely because the level of communication is going to be very bad. And with this card, I'm worried that unexpected and suddenly there may be even a danger of mentally or emotionally feeling separated. So since it's you listening to me and the story is not good for you in the last 16 days where you, with your ongoing lover, the romance partner that you already have, Well, since you are listening to me, you don't want to argue, and definitely you don't want to show temper, aggression, or show ego. Tell yourself it's only 16 days. Let me be nice about it and try to help the situation rather to further break it down. Now let's talk about your marriage, the situation of your marriage in the last 16 days of January. Let's see how that's going to be. A lot is happening with this card. It's not a deadly card, but many movements are there. So I have to say that unexpected problems can appear in the last 16 days to upset your marriage areas. And that black circle there, that simply means depression. So there's a circle of depression around this, which means trouble. So tell yourself in the last 16 days of January, many problems are flowing from one area to another. And you have to be very careful what you say and what you do since it's you listening to me. Don't make it worse. Don't bring up issues of past problems. And don't bring up issues that might bring uncertainty or differences of opinion. Otherwise, your marriage area is going to have severe issues. Now, I'm going to talk to you about your lucky ages. Lucky ages. Some people are going to be very lucky coming from Leo. And let's see what the card says. Which ages are they going to be? All right, you coming from Leo. Well, from this card, there are many signs here. I'm going to say that if you happen to be the ages of 18 or 27 or 36 or 45 or 54 or 63 or 72 or 81 or even 90, you're going to be one very lucky person where romance and marriage is concerned in the whole month of January. And what if you are not of these ages? Well, you should come and see me for a 90-minute session. And I'll show you many ways how to improve your life. And I'll give you your next 8 or 9 years, age by age, calendar year by calendar year. And I'll show you how to reach into that supernatural energy that you have. But we'll more talk about that a bit later. Now I'm going to talk to you about caution. Caution simply means that I'm going to give you some ages now. And if your new romance partner or your ongoing partner or your marriage partner happens to be of these ages, you have to be very careful how you deal with the situation. And from this card, the card of Mars and Venus and Saturn, many planets are here. I'm going to say that if the person you're dealing with, new romance, ongoing romance, marriage, happens to be the ages of 17 or 26 or 35 or 44 or 53 or 62 or 71 or even 80 or 89. Well, you have to be very careful that trouble can brew very, very fast. And if anybody of these ages is the one chasing you for a romance in the month of January, be very careful. More trouble can come about. Now about colors. Colors are always very important because when we wear a certain color, touch a certain color, we immediately get energies from the planet who controls that color. So let's see what the cards are going to say for you. What color would be lucky for you in the month of January? And I'm going to favor red because red there on the bottom is the foundation of everything in this card. So wear plenty of red in the month of January. And you're going to be one very lucky person where romance and marriage is concerned. You'll have that specialness about you, that aura about you. Now we're going to talk about an attachment too. Who could you find an attachment which may be very helpful for you? And let's see what happens here. You're coming from Leo. All right. Overall, I make this card, it's got plenty of energy here. I make this the card of Taurus, the card of Taurus. So when you meet somebody from Taurus, or in the form of a new romance, or if you have a romance partner from Taurus or a marriage partner from Taurus, you're going to find a lot of help coming your way and a lot of support as well. And meet people of Taurus, ask them, and if they are from Taurus, you're going to get some benefit in one way or another from them in your area of romance or marriage or in a love affair. And now about direction energy. So there will be certain directions which are going to be lucky for us because 9 planets surround us. So when we look north or south or east or west, we're going to get good or bad energy. And for you coming from Leo for the month of January, looking at this card, all right, I'm going to say face south because the dominating part of this card is the planet Mars there. Face south as much as you can, even when you are making a phone call and talking to the potential romance person. Face south when you want to find solutions to make your ongoing romance better. Face south if you want to get the inspiration of making your marriage happier. That's what you have to do. Now, this 90-minute session, firstly, I'm going to show you how to connect to the supernatural energy that you have. You have it, I have it, everybody else has it. It's a question of how to reach there and make that connection. People who are so special in the world, so famous, they live a life of luxury, and they're so clever and they're successful in everything they say and do. They have learned how to connect to the supernatural energy. Nobody else can do it unless you get the supernatural energy connected to you. And they just become supernaturally lucky. They come up with inventions and anything else. And so I'll show you how to do that in this 90-minute session, which will cost you USD $50 based on your date of birth, your time of birth, most importantly, looking at your palms. I will show you all that. And more than that, I will show you how to formulate your own personal lucky lottery numbers. Step by step, I'll teach you so that you can do it with your own energy. And I'll give you a lot of information, your lucky days, your lucky gemstones, your lucky colors, your lucky directions, on, so that you become very special with the energy of the universe. And age by age, calendar year by calendar year, I will go into your next 8 or 9 years to show you how to get the best of it, how to be able to tackle the worst of it sometimes. So you'll be in charge. As long as you know, you become in charge. So send me that email address, which I showed you just now. I'm going to show it to you again. And send me that email to here. And once I get your email, well, ask me all the questions you want on the email. And once I have your email, I'll come back to you so that I can be happy enough to be part of that wonderful journey to help you make so that you know your next 8 or 9 years. I wish you the best of January. And until we meet, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you and goodbye.